com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago, it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. PhilsGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With PhilsGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to PhilsGang.com. PhilsGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Goldman's analyst said that the Inflation Reduction Act could end up costing about 3 to 4 times what we were told, in part because of these uncapped tax credits on some of their programs, particularly around renewable and so-called clean energy.
Unbelievable. So we were told that the Inflation Reduction Act, which I don't understand how they call it inflation reduction to begin with. They said it was going to be $750 billion. It's going to be in the trillions. First of all, they spent $2 million. These are just some small things. $2 million on a ski area. How does spending $2 million on a ski area in Iowa reduce inflation? It's unbelievable. How about $2 million on a golf course? How does that reduce inflation? Like I said yesterday, $50 million to build an electric ferry. Not just one electric ferry boat. You're talking 100 of these things. I mean, it's ridiculous. But, talking about ridiculous, it just amazes me. I get so sick of these people not telling the truth. What's going on? Every day I try as hard as I can with my members to make sure they're in either the bank stocks or they're in tech stocks or they're in gold stocks, depending on what the bond market's doing. Right now, the market's all over the place because they never fixed it, number one. First of all, they never fixed the economy going all the way back 2008, 2009. So that's what we're suffering from right now. And all this volatility that we see. I mean, all you got to do is follow the bond market. One day you see them pushing up the tech stocks. Yeah, just sit there and watch. The bond market goes down. Yields go down. They pull lever, yields go down, the bond market goes up. The tech market goes up. So every time those yields go down, no problem. Buy tech. And then when the yields go back up, turn around, get out of your tech, and then you buy your bank stocks. And then reverse again and go back the other way. This is what they're doing. See, here's the problem. They never fixed what happened in 2009, and we're suffering for that right now. Powell doesn't know what the hell he's doing. First of all, he can't. Everybody says, "Well, is it too late to go into recession?" Yeah, I would think so. How are you going to fix a recession? when rates are at 5%. You got to have rates at 10%. Then you can cut and cut and cut, and then you can fix a recession. That's right. They can't even fix this recession. If they wanted to get out of this recession, if they wanted to go into a recession, I should say, if they even wanted to go into, they can't. They can't go into a recession because they never intended to go into a recession. And that's why the rates aren't high enough. If they intended to go into a recession, they would have cranked up these rates to 10%, so they had plenty. They could go from 10 to 5% to get out of the recession. You know, recessions are a good thing. But we got screwed. Main Street got screwed by 2008 to 2017. In 2008, when the market crashed and Obama came in 2009, we should have went right into a recession, but he didn't want to because he couldn't, because he had to pay back his boys on Wall Street for putting him in the Oval Office. The prescription has always been, to enter a recession. When you have a lousy economy, things are falling apart, go into a recession. Because an average recession lasts about 10 months, that's all. And when you come out of a recession, again, you have to have high enough rates to cut so you can get out of the recession. So when you come out of the recession, the economy will grow 5 to 6%. That's always the trend. When you go into a recession, you'll come out of that recession like a rocket ship, 5 to 6% economic growth. Because everybody, they cut their balance sheets, they get rid of all the fat, get rid of all the debt. Government does the same thing. So you'll come out with a trend of about 5 to 6% for about 2 years, and then it gets normal again to about 3.25%. But they had no intention of doing that. Here's a great example. Take Reagan. Reagan, when Carter left him one hell of a disastrous economy, 1980, 1981, Reagan got hit in 1983 with a huge, terrible economy. So he had to put it right into a recession. He was smart. That was the prescription. That's what people used to do. Two of them in the 70s. I remember those. I was trading stocks. You put them right into a recession. That's the prescription. When you have a recession as an illness, you put them, when you have this kind of recession, or you have this kind of an economy, the prescription, put them into a recession. Because once you do that, you're going to come out of that recession with good trend, good economic growth, 5, 6%. So Reagan, he was in a recession for 18 to 24 months. He came out of the recession like a rocket ship, 6%. And then from 1983 to 1986, his trend growth, was about 3.25. That's good. That's good. And the market went up about 9%. But think about what happened between 2018 and 2017. Okay? Now remember, between 2008 2017, we should have done what Reagan did. Go into a recession for 18, 24 months, come out at about a GDP of 6%, and then after about 18, 24 months, your trend settles back to about 3.25, which is okay. That's a good economic growth. But in 2018, 2017, remember what happened? Under Obama and Biden and Bernanke administration, they intentionally said, no, we can't do that. We'll replace a recession with QE. And who wanted the QE? Wall Street wanted the QE. So they replaced a recession with QE. Now, QE, remember, was illegal for a good reason. But remember, they got lucky. Reagan used QE. He took it out of being illegal. He made it legal, but he only used it for a couple months. These guys used it for 13 years because it's a disaster. So in 2008, they used QE, and they said, we won't do a recession. We'll go to QE right away. So from 2009, and QE is nothing more than printing money, and you go buy treasuries, and when you buy treasuries, the yields go down. And then the Federal Reserve, when the yields go down, they can drop their interest rates down from, let's say, 5% to 0. So, but under QE from 2009 to 2016, the economy only grew 1.4%. Now think about this. Why would you go into a QE when you knew your economic growth would be 1.4%? That would be your trend, not 5 or 6%. You need a trend GDP of at least 3.25 3.25 at least. But they knew by saying, no, we're not going to go into a recession. Let's go into QE, and our trend GDP would be 1.4%. Why would they do that instead of the 3.25? Because they were looking out for Wall Street. They were looking out for the bankster gangsters in Wall Street. That's who they were looking out for. Obama and Biden, Bernanke had to take care of the guys on Wall Street, put them into office. So they said, don't go into recession. Let's do QE. So what happens with the QE? Instead of a normal trend of economic growth of, say, 3.25, when they went into recession, they only had a 1.4% GDP growth. Are you kidding me? Why did they do that? Why would they want 1.4%? Makes no sense. I'll explain when I get back. Join my gang free for 10 days. Phil'sGang.com.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Easter eggs can be hidden treasures that are fun to discover by chance. But finding financial Easter eggs in the stock market takes experience. Secure your future with smart financial guidance from Phil Grandy. Now is the perfect time to have peace of mind when investing at philsgang.com.
We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Generally speaking, you're not seeing the kind of red flags I think you would see as you lead into a recession.
God, can you imagine somebody saying something like that? All right, let me explain. And this is hard to explain because people don't really get this. And I understand it. You think, geez, why would they screw us like this? Okay. So if you go back to Reagan or you go back before Reagan, you always would go into a recession. Recession would give you a trend. In other words, your GDP trend would always be about 3.25 when you came out. That was a good thing. It'd be about 18 months, 24 months, sometimes just 10 months. So it's a good thing to go into recession. Obviously, you'd want to avoid what puts you there, but recessions are good because it forces everybody to clean up their debt and their balance sheet. And the nice thing is when you're done with the recession, you come out with a trend of probably about 3.25 to 4. Now, after about maybe 18 months, a little less, that will go back to a normal trend of growth of about 3.25, which is fantastic. That's really good, 3.25. So let's say you come out at 6% and then you level off at 3%. That sets you up for a real sound foundation. Now, who wouldn't want that? That's always been the prescription to when you had a terrible situation going on in your economy, like 2008, like now, like during Reagan and when he took over Carter. But they decided to do something different in 2008. Now, remember, Wall Street lost more money than normal in 2008 because of the banks and what happened. So when they cut I told you about this last week, when they cut their deal with Obama, we'll fund you, get you in the Oval Office, but we don't want to go into a recession. We want to capture back our losses right away. Because remember, banks never had, except for 1929, banks never had big losses like that. But they lost a boatload of money, $8 trillion in losses, okay? And I don't know how much of that was the banks, but a lot of it. They said, we want to get our money back as fast as we can. And the only way we can do that is to screw Main Street. So you got to be with us in this, but we'll get you into the Oval Office. So they said, okay, let's do QE. So when you do QE, now you're saying, okay, we're not going to go into a recession. So think of this number. We're giving up a GDP of 3.25. Trend, normal trend growth that you'd have for maybe 4, 5, 6 years, which would be good. You're giving that up. So you're going to say, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a GDP, take a growth of 1.4% instead of 3.2%. Who would do that? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Why would any president or Bernanke at the time, why would anyone say, okay, let's go for 1.4% GDP growth after we come out of the recession instead of 3.25%? Here's why. Because under QE, what they would do is what they kept on doing is taking care of the banks. Remember, they printed the money to go buy the 10-year treasuries to drop those yields down so they could get the mortgage business going again. But the real purpose was to be able to justify the Federal Reserve dropping their interest rates from 5% to 0, so they could give money to the big corporations, free money, so they could buy their own stocks. And that's where they would get their money back, unearned increment. That's why it was illegal, because now they would get their money back quickly with no growth. So what they did was this. Think about this. So they said, what we'll do is we're going to screw Main Street out of $5 trillion. We're going to take the $5 trillion from Main Street and push it up to Wall Street. Now, how do you do that? Well, think about it. If you take the difference between the 1.4% GDP growth and the 3.25% GDP growth, that's $5 trillion in wealth a year that Main Street got screwed out of. Remember, Main Street should have been enjoying a 3.25% GDP growth. That means their wages would have gone up, everything would have been fine. But no, they wanted to take care of Wall Street, who put Obama in the White House. That's why they went for the 1.4%. Like I said to you, who in their right mind would say, yeah, let's take a 1.4% GDP growth instead of a 3.25 GDP growth? Who in their right mind would do that? Crooks. So Main Street got screwed. The difference between 1.4 and 3.25 is about $5 trillion a year in wealth that was transferred from Main Street, from people making $35,000 to $65,000 a year. They transferred that wealth from Main Street up to Wall Street and Obama's pals. That's what QE is. Now, think about this. If you're only growing 1.4%, now they transferred all that wealth up to Wall Street, but the economy's only growing 1.4%. But wait a minute, something's wrong. How could you be growing 1.4%, but the stock market, the Dow was going up 40%. The NASDAQ was going up 90%. So how the hell does your market go up 40% a year, or the NASDAQ 90% a year, when you're only growing 1.4% a year? It's crooked. The whole thing was crooked. Now, what we're suffering now, the reason we're suffering now is because of that. We never fixed anything after the 2008 crash. The Federal Reserve never fixed their balance sheet. They got still $8 trillion in QE bonds sitting on their balance sheet. So just comprehend this for one moment. Obama, who they're going to build a statue, I guess, in every city for him, right? And they're going to have a halo, and there's going to have music. Do we have the music? They said they're going to be playing around the statue. That's it. Yeah. Every statue is going to have this music. Every Obama music. Every statue is going to have music around it. Can you imagine transferring all this wealth from Main Street up to Wall Street? And look where we are today because of it.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, We recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day, because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also, listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the Fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Structurally, the market bottom. By the way, this was the pattern in 2008. Tech began to lead as early as November 2008, and that signaled that the internal bottom was in.
You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
I mean, it mostly looks like the small banking problems that we saw emerge with SVB and a handful of others is pretty contained, all things considered.
That's a lot of nuts!
I guess it is a lot of nuts. All right, so here's what's going to happen. So, again, understand, okay, so you can set this up. So, they stole from Main Street through QE. That was 5, 8, about $40 trillion. So they made far more doing QE. The guys on Wall Street made a lot of money. They didn't just, are you kidding? It'd be all right if they just got their losses back, but they got their losses back times 10. Times 10. So I want you to think for a moment and answer this. How can the stock market, the NASDAQ, go up 90% when the economy's growing 1.4%? Nobody could answer that. That's QE. And what does that mean? Somewhere down the road, it's going to all blow up. We didn't realize they're going to do this for 13 straight years. That's why this market's going to go right through the October lows. I sit here and I laugh when everybody's saying the bottom's in. What? All we got going right now is the Federal Reserve is playing a game. They got a little guy sitting there with 2 levers. Okay, today what we're going to do now, okay, I want you twice today, I want you to push the yields down so that we can get the tech stocks up. And then I want you to switch one time during this day, I want you to switch it and push the yields up. Let's push the yields up so we can get the bank stocks up. Then the next day, he gets his instructions again. Okay, twice during the day, we're going to push the lever down, okay, so the yields will drop and the tech stocks will go up. And then 2 more times, we'll push the yield up, and then the banks will go up. This is all they're doing. And there's no money. It's all they're doing. Remember, when we made that big money from 2008 to November 2021, the NASDAQ alone was up over 1,200%. With a growth of the economy, at that time it was even 1.4%. How can you get stock prices going up, company stock prices going? Where are the earnings? There's no earnings. How are you going to get earnings when the economy's growing 1.4% to justify the NASDAQ going up 1,200%? It's all been rigged, and they still haven't stopped. They still haven't stopped. But just think of the terrible thing they did, that Obama and his team did. They took Main Street and transferred $40 trillion, stole, like going into their bedroom. They stole from them $40 trillion. What a difference that would have made if they took that $40 trillion and left it. And if they took some money and put it into small businesses to increase productivity. Just think if they didn't steal that money from Main Street to go to Wall Street. But they did. That was a transfer from the bottom up. That's why QE always been illegal, because of this. Now we have a depressed, declining economic growth. We have 40-year high inflation. Think of it. You don't think they knew the consequences? That when they were enriching Wall Street and destroying Main Street, you don't think they knew the consequences? That they would leave Main Street with 40-year high inflation, 32 trillion in debt, a depressed, declining economic growth, wages not keeping up with inflation, Obama healthcare costs going through the roof, increased from 11% of GDP to 19%. You don't think they knew that? Or that we'd have a historic number of people working multiple jobs? 2 full-time jobs? They didn't know that either? They knew it all. Now Obama's got his house in Martha's Vineyard and a house here and a house there. They're all set, but the guys on Main Street are screwed. But look, you don't have to be sitting there losing money every day. You're going to lose money every day if you continue to listen to these idiots on these financial shows. They have no idea what they're doing. Right now, Wall Street and the Federal Reserve, they're using financial engineering, statistical trickery, and an hallucination of prosperity. And Wall Street now is trading in the promise of prosperity. Here, look what she said. She said, the banks are nearing a bottom.
Structurally, the market bottomed. By the way, this was the pattern in 2008. Tech began to lead as early as November 2008, and that signaled that the internal bottom was in.
There you go. See that? Oh, the bottom's in. I better start buying. He's hallucinating prosperity. Now he's trading in the promise of prosperity. He's going to screw you. We have a 40-year high inflation rate. The deficits need to be paid down. And what do? Print money, devaluating your purchasing power of your dollar. I could go on and on. But here's what you got to do. When they're playing this game, and this is what we've been doing. We've been doing every day, ask my members. We've been watching matter of fact, I put up today on my computer, I put up the 2 different stocks. Where is it? Right here. I put up Apple, and then I put underneath it JP Morgan. I put up Microsoft, a tech stock, and I put a bank underneath that stock, Citi. I put up tech stock Nvidia, and I put underneath that tech stock Google. I put up tech stock Meta, and I put underneath that Bank of America. So what we're doing right now is we're following the trend of the bond market. So we know exactly which group to be in long and which group to be short. And then when they flip it the other way, we just reverse it. That's all they're doing. This market has no place to go but down. But nobody wants to believe it. Somehow they think we've been sitting here for 9 weeks, 70 weeks, and we haven't clawed back yet. Out of that 38%, we've only clawed back that drop of 38% from November 2021. We've only clawed back about 12%, I think. Now remember, 2018, we clawed it all back within 13 weeks. I think it was 13 weeks, 2018, and then or 16 weeks, and then 2020. It dropped about 32% in 5 weeks. We clawed it all back in 5 weeks and went on with another 120%. We're sitting here, 67, almost 70 weeks later, and they haven't even clawed back out of the 38%, the most 12%. And they're saying the bottom's in the market? Join my gang. Honest to God, if you join my gang, use our tools, free for 10 days, you're going to make money no matter which way the market goes. But the problem is 90%, not 80, 90% of money, people are losing money in the market because they have no clue how the bond market works, because they don't want you to know how the bond market works. It makes it too easy. And then to make it even easier for you to be right, you take the bond market, connect that to my Pro 2 color-coded chart that follows the money, tells you, oh, okay, get in. No, don't get in. Following the money. You'll do just fine. And to prove it, just do it for 10 days. That's all. 10 days. And it works. But it's amazing what they're doing right now and trying to mask all this nonsense.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
For many around the U.S., the weather is about to change. Longer days and warmer weather. Just as you prepare for weather changes, you need to be prepared for the changes in the market. And Phil Grandy is your daily guide for when you need to buy or sell and maximize your earnings. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and navigate the market with confidence with Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang. Go to philsgang.com. Click where it says Get Started. Right next to that, also take a look at how Pro 2 works. The color-coded chart. It works. Tells you when to buy and when to sell. Okay, look. They knew when they put in QE the consequences. But Obama had no choice. He wanted to be president, so he had to pay. And the pay was QE, which everybody knew didn't work. Matter of fact, Bernanke wrote a paper for Greenspan on how it failed miserably in Japan, and it should never be used. But they used it. They knew every consequence They knew the dollar was going to get tumbled. They knew the inflation. They knew everything, but they did it anyways because the bottom line was Wall Street wanted to claw back the money they lost in 2008, but they clawed back about 10 to 20 times that, and they stole the money from Main Street. They took Main Street's money, the $5 trillion a year that should have gone to Main Street, to jobs and wages and productivity and business investment. They stole that for themselves. They pushed it up to Wall Street. Nobody wants to talk about it. The deficits are the killer. When you spend more money than you're taking in, which they were doing every day through QE, printing and printing and printing, deficits are horrible because deficits have to be paid. Now, again, if you know what you're doing and you know what stocks to be in based on deficits, like you know what stocks to be in based on inflation, you know what stocks to be in if the yields are going up, you know what stocks to be in, you know what stocks to be in, yields are going down. That's what you get from Phil's gang. You'll know that. So it doesn't matter to us what the hell's going on. We're going to always be right. We'll be in the right stocks at the right time. Just like I was looking today, and we shorted all those bank stocks. And we did that well before, hell, we did that in February, the bank stocks. We were short, my God, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all these stocks we were short. And guess what? Awesome, boom, they hit and went down. And then I told my gang, let's start doing swing trades. Not position trades. These banks, they're going to run them back up again. And they did. This is all they can do. Because the deficits, people have no idea what the deficits are doing to this economy. When you pay those deficits back, that's what's caused all this inflation. I mean, they got to be paid down. And how do they pay them down? Through money printing. That devaluates the purchasing power of your dollar. That's why when you go to the grocery store and your eggs are costing you so much, it's not the eggs that cost them much, it's your dollars getting devalued. Because they took this $46 trillion and stole it from you and gave it to Wall Street. How about the credit default swaps? They're sitting there and they say, oh my God, look at this, the banks, FDIC's broke. You know, no one will admit FDIC's broke. They don't have money. They don't have money. People have no idea the risk they are in with their banks. They have no clue. They think everything's okay again. Just because, what the hell was the bank that bought SVB? Didn't buy the bank. They bought most of the assets. Happened yesterday. What the hell? I can't remember the name of the bank. So, First Citizens Bank. You think that's going to help anything? Of course, they're not doing anything for Main Street. That's for Wall Street. It's not going to help you or me. So, this inflation now, okay, now we're at a 40-year high because of what they've been doing. Now, these credit default swaps, all they are is, if they don't, now everybody was worried about the banks, right? That the FDIC didn't have enough money to take care of the depositors. Well, nobody's talking about the insurance for the bonds. Investors go and they buy debt from corporations. Corporations can sell their debt in the form of a bond. Now, that's pretty risky to do. But there's other investors who will insure your bet. So you say, I want to go and I'm going to buy the debt of company X. So you go buy the debt of company X in the form of a bond. And then a third party comes in and says, I'll insure you, okay, and don't worry, I'm going to insure you so if your insurer goes down, you're covered. Remember in 2008, nobody was covered? Well, we got the same problem right now. Just think of credit default swaps. Forget the name credit default. It makes it sound so important. All this is an insurance policy written by a third party. You buy the debt, right? And now you got a third party comes in and says, I'm going to insure you from losses, okay, in case your insurance policy goes bad. And remember 2008? Everybody had these insurance contracts. They were worthless. Nobody could pay the insurance contracts. Well, it's just as bad, if not worse now. You watch what happens to the bond market. But now all you have to be is in the right stocks, and you take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Now, inflation is also causing a shift from growth stocks to value stocks. But you just don't get into a tech stock, say, oh, let's see, inflation, okay, now we should shift, if it's a lot of inflation, we should shift out our tech stocks and go into the bank stocks. Go from growth, big tech, to value banks. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? You just don't do that because it's a jingle. That's what everybody used to do. It doesn't work anymore. But what does work is if you know what the bond market's doing and you buy your tech stock, you'll know when to buy or sell your bank stocks. You're going to know when to sell either one or buy either one if you understand the bond market. It's so simple, and this is what we teach every day. And we back you up with the Pro 2, which will warn you if you're ready to buy, and now all of a sudden the signal's all red. It's telling you, no, don't buy. There's not enough buyers. Don't buy. So just because they're telling you got inflation and the fake business those idiots on the fake business networks will tell you, oh, you got to shift out of all your growth stocks and the value stocks. It's not true anymore because there's no fundamentals in the business anymore. Remember, we don't go by fundamentals anymore. Nobody cares what top-line sales are. Nobody cares what margins are. Nobody cares what the free cash flow is. It's like the Wild West. But if you know what you're doing, you're going to be just fine. People don't understand how inflation, when they made this deal to screw Main Street out of $46 trillion, they knew when they did that was bad. It was going to be detrimental to our economy. They knew it was going to reduce our dollars, our buying power. They knew when you go into the grocery store, you're going to be paying $1 for an egg that's worth 10 cents. They also knew when they made that deal to shift $40 trillion from Main Street, steal it from Main Street up to Wall Street. They knew that we'd be reducing economic growth. They knew then that it was over for wages increasing. They knew it was a problem for the dollar, interest, productivity. But they did it anyways because Obama had to pay back his debt. He had to pay back his debt. He made a deal. He has to keep his word. So for 10 years, everybody's been getting screwed. Everybody's been on the gravy train. I'll just buy my stock. It'll go up. I'll just keep buying tech stocks. It'll go up. Now what's going on? People don't know what to do. And then on top of that, what do? They turn around and do the American Rescue Plan. What? After stealing $40 trillion from Main Street working people and giving it to Wall Street, screwing the economy, now they turn around and say, no, we're going to do the American Rescue Plan. We're going to give everybody $1,400 checks. We'll give every kid $3,200 a month. We're going to reimburse them for daycare, $4,000 a month. We're going to give them everything. Oh, and then on top of that, hey, why don't we print some more money? Let's print some more money for a ski area, for a golf course, for electric ferry boat. Oh, hey, how about let's printing more money for an alarm system, Metropolitan Opera? How about printing $3 million for the LGBTQ, whatever the hell it is, museum? This is nuts, isn't it? But guess what? There's a great opportunity to make money if you just know what you're doing, especially shorting. Join my gang, please. Phil'sGang.com. See you on the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.